Hey, good morning, guys. So today I'm going to do a little workshop how to build a relatively simple Dappnode package. I hope that you know what Dappnode is, so that's why you're here. But I'm wondering whether you have done anything on Dappnode, any of you. All right? And that's not that important. The important thing is for you to be able to follow workshop, you need to be familiar with Docker a little bit. Okay. So I'll show the flow. So my idea is to make a package like live in front of you, and that is not like crypto package because Dappnode is more than just like a staking machine. It can do much more. It's your own server, so you can do whatever. And I had the idea of doing the um, OSIS package. OSIS means on cloud infinite scale. That's the newest product, newest release of on cloud open source service. So I can show you. So my idea is to build this as a Dappnode package. So that's your own cloud storage that you host. You don't share you don't share your data with anybody, and it's completely private. So Dappnode can do that and can do that easily, and I'm going to demonstrate you. So I'm going to show you like real process how I do it, and it's a bit of iterative process because at the front I don't know what's going on, what are the package requirements, and it's a bit of a trial and error situation. So first, for us to be able to do a package easily, we would like that the package has its like official Docker image, and that simplifies process massively. So if the easiest way to find that is to go to the docs of a package and go to, for example, deployment, and try to find some kind of basic setup or getting started or something that shows you how to run this first with Docker, and then like within the Dappnode. Okay, I found this in docs, uh, which redirects us to this, which redirects us back to the same page. Okay, I think it's in basic remote setup. So Docker compose, development examples, basic. I found this a day ago. So we need Docker. Let's do it like this. So discover OSIS with Docker. Yeah, this is it. So these are the OSIS docs. We are still not doing any DevNode related stuff that tell us how to deploy OSIS with Docker. And if we scroll down a bit, it tells us to prepare directories. That's fine. To do the to change ownership of directories. That's fine. We don't care about that. We care about this Docker pull. Okay, we need to pull the image, and we need to run this Docker command, which initializes the OSIS, and then we have to run this bigger command that runs OSIS indefinitely. So that's like a bit of anti-pattern in Dappnode, because in Dappnode we just want it like to start, run it, and that's it. But we can solve that. So let's now that we have the idea how it works, we can go to our own machine, and we can choose the folder where we are going to build stuff. So on my PC, I do it in code the Dappnode folder. It doesn't matter. And let's create the folder where we are going to build our project in. So as a standard, we name them like this Dappnode package. dash whatever name of the project is. Let's call it OSIS. So we change to that folder, and now we start coding. So we have a tool called Dappnode SDK that's meant to facilitate this process. And first thing that we need to do in this folder is initialize Dappnode repo. So we use Dappnode SDK command, but we won't publish anything still. And we will do init command. And this will guide us now through the defaults. We will use the package that's default from the folder name. We will use version. We will type in description later. I'll tell you where these fields are. For author, we'll put a Dappnode. License GPL 3.0 doesn't matter right now. And that's it. We are now initialized. And we can open our IDE. Thank you for. And now we have basic structure of our Dappnode repo. We start for the Docker file because that's that's the first thing we see. And what we do with the Dappnode package is we just take the whatever we are doing, whatever package we are doing. In this case, OSIS. We take that image as a base image to our own image that we are building with the Dappnode. So you see here we know that name of the image is oncloud.osis, and what we do is we say from oncloud.osis that means that our entry point is the oncloud.osis official image, but we won't have version tracking of this, because when you do this, this will pull the latest image, and then you won't know what you're doing. And then what we standardly do is we tag them. And we always use upstream version variable, but we need to define that first. And we will define that in Docker Compose. I'll tell you later why. But here we just need to declare it. And we declare it as argument upstream version from OSIS Cloud. And that's it. For now, what we need to add here is that that upstream version variable. Also here, it won't be OSIS version, it will be upstream version. And we want it to be the latest one there is, so we'll just Google it. Okay, not like that. So we'll just Google it, and we'll see what's the latest version, because we want to build on top of the latest version. There is no sense in building anything else. And that's 7.1.3, and we defined it at 7.1.3. And this is our basic setup. So what we can do now is we can try building this. Obviously, it won't work because we saw here that we first need to run this init command, but it doesn't matter. We can just try building it. And now my connection to the Dappnode is broken because I haven't connected to the VPN. So what build command does is uses your Docker to build the package and then to upload it to IPFS. If you don't have IPFS endpoint, you can't do it. But luckily, so I have Dappnode here in my WireGuard, and I can connect to it. So if you are following with me, if you are trying to do no, it's fine. So if you are following me and you want to do this with me, there is way to do this without having to connect your Dapp node. So what you then have to do is you have to add additional argument variable, which is called provider, which is IPFS provider, and then you write either like HTTP of IPFS API, or you use like our own that we use for developing, but we often purge it, so you cannot count on it. So we call it remote. And if you do this, this will work even without connecting to your Dapp node. But as I'm connecting to my Dapp node, then I don't need a remote provider. I can just use Dappnode SDK build. And now it's a building an image. And it takes a while. And while it's obviously already built it, because our Docker file is very simple. So it's just now saving and compressing, and later it will upload it to IPFS. So this obviously won't work because we didn't, but I'll show you the process till the end, at least now, and then later we will iterate more quickly. So while this is happening, does anybody have any questions? Is anything clear? Everything clear? All right. So we can wait a while. So this is being built. And while it's going on, we can see here in more detail what we need to do. So first we need to init this thing, and then we will get some kind of user and password. I don't know right now what that is, but we will figure it out. All right, so it has been built very quickly, and it has been uploaded to my IPFS. So from here I can try to install it on my Dappnode. So I've got a link here, and I can follow it. So this is opened on my Dappnode, and now it will try to load it. At some point, but let's do this. This is irrelevant to the. This will make it load more quickly, I hope. Yes. So I have the basic package now built. It doesn't look very pretty. It doesn't have avatar. It says that release is not signed, that it's unsafe. And if you try to update it, you won't be able to, because you have to check the advanced options to bypass restrictions that we have.
These restrictions are because when users are mostly using Dappnode in order to stake and to validate, yes, and they have validators and everything, and since the SDK is permissionless and anybody can create Dappnode packages, anybody could just create a package that's called Prism Consensus Validator, yes, for example, and people would just download it thinking that it is. But if it's not signed by the original poster of the Prism package, then it will not be accepted. So packages include a signature with the developer key, and the Dappnode can recognize when somebody is trying to impersonate another package that's not been signed by the developer address that's allowed to sign this.
Yes, exactly. So Dappnode philosophy is you can do whatever you want. You can install whatever package do you want, but we want you to know what you are doing. So it's not signed. That means it has been released by whomever, but you can install it, and you do it on your own risk. But we have like very robust system that tells you from us that the package is signed, and then you can trust the author, either us or developer of that package, whoever that is. So I'm going to try to install it now. I will click on update because I already have like this package that's called OSIS. and it will try to install it. And first that we do when we install a package is we look at the logs and see what's wrong, because on first try it's almost certainly going to be something wrong with it. I mean, we are on purpose doing something wrong right now, but yeah, I want to show the process, because I've never built a package in the first try. So yeah, I want to show you how it is. So if you go to the logs, so yeah, it's like giving me some weird error and nothing works. Because when we go back to the docs, we have to do first time initialization, and here we see that we need to provide it with 2 volumes. So we will do that right away. First, volumes are both same in this Docker run and this Docker run command, so we can safely mount them. So what we can do is we can write volume command, and my copilot is telling me what to do. I think almost correctly, because I don't want these to be bind mounts. I want these to be real Docker volumes. So what we do, that this is basic Docker stuff. This has nothing to do with Dappnode. We just specify these volumes and declare volumes here as is per Docker spec. What Dappnode SDK for some reason wants is that you add these empty brackets to it, so your validation passes. All right, so this is this part, like this mounting part. And next part, what we need to do is this own cloud init step. And since we need to do these both steps inside of the Docker volume, the Dappnode package, and without interaction with the user, so what we do is usually we write a simple bash script that help us deal with that, and usually we call it entrypoint.sh. So I will create that. I will make it executable. And now we can route our entry point script. So, but because we wrote our entry point script, we would need to change our Docker file. So it's not as simple as it was a few moments ago. And then we will change it. First, we will set work directory to the standard one. In Dappnode, it's user source app. This is irrelevant from the Dappnode perspective. We would need to change, we would need to copy our entry point to the destination. And we have to specify now with the Docker command entry point that our entry point is the entry point. Yeah. And this is our Docker file that we are going to use. So thanks. So that's pretty much it for our Docker file, and all the complex logic happens here. So let's save our Docker file. We saved our Docker compose, and in the entry point, we try to do what's been done here. So these are 2 steps. So one is that we need to init, and second step is that we need to run it like this. So first step is, as I said, osys init. What's the name? And it says we need to do it with insecurious. So what this means, like, I don't know for right now, but what we can do is what we can SSH, for example, in some Linux machine, and then we can try Docker run. Okay. For example, help. It can't find the image, but it will download it. And then this is help command. So maybe we can do OSIS init help. And this tells us usage of the init command. So it says options that we have and their default values. So allow insecure OSIS config. That doesn't sound benign, but it's okay because everything is tucked in Docker, so we don't need to worry about it. But it says admin password and set admin password and find using random generated one. So it says here that when you are doing OSIS init command, that your password is randomly generated if you don't send admin password value. And that's something that we do not like, because that would users wouldn't be able to set their passwords, and their password would be, they would like have to fish it out of the logs. So that's not very optimal. So what we can do is using this OSIS init command, we can set admin password or to some value, and let's call that value OSIS admin password. So that's some kind of variable that user will be able to set. So in Dappnode, we interact with the packages using environment variables mostly. So what we do is we need to set this environment variable, and we do that in Docker Compose. So Docker Compose is a file that Dappnode reads and builds your interface around the Dappnode package around it. So whatever environment variable is defined in the Compose, it is shown on the UI. So environment admin password equals, let's do it like this. We'll set it empty, so that user is forced to set. Yes.
Yeah. Could you please zoom in because before?
Okay. So I will zoom in. So the question was, can I zoom in? Yeah, definitely. Is it better?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do it even more if you want. So yeah, right now we have our entry point set, environment set that we need to insert admin password, and we are doing our OSIS init. Nice. Next, after we've done OSIS init, we need to do this command, and this command is a bit tricky because it is using default entry point, and we don't know what that is. But we can easily find out in, for example, for the OSIS, it's easiest to do it in the GitHub, Docker Hub. And you can see here that default entry point is OSIS. I'll zoom it. And the command is server. That means what we can do is we can do just OSIS server, and that should be good enough, except the rest of the environment variables. So for running OSIS, we need to expose the port. It says 9200. We'll set the default. We don't have reason to change it. So we can expose the port. Actually, we don't, let me backtrack on that. We don't, in Dappnode, so how Dappnode works is that you are connected to your own network. So when you connect to Dappnode, you connect to the internal Docker network of a Dappnode. So you don't have to expose the ports. but to be able to access every possible port of the container. So we'll skip this one, but we would need to copy these environment variables. So we'll need to figure out what these are. But let them copy for now. So OSIS insecure equals true. We've already said that. Proxy, HTTP proxy address. This, to keep this more dynamic, the HTTPS proxy address is the address on which internal process is going to listen in OSIS. So because the default port is 9200, we'll set it to 9200, and 000 means that OSIS will listen to all interfaces that are available to them. And that is a requirement where we are doing anything Docker related. And this last one, OSIS URL, is interesting one because it makes us set URL that we will be accessing OSIS from in advance. And so when you install a Docker package, it automatically gives you domain names for your package. And I can tell you if you do public package, which this is. So if you go over here, it says OSIS public package, and this is actually a domain that you are able to connect to your package, whatever you do. So what we can do here is we can just copy paste that there, and we should be set. All right, so we can double check. We changed the environment, we did the volumes, and that's pretty much it. We did init. And yeah, what we can do next is we can try to build the package again and see if it works. Build. Oh. Again, it has been built very quickly because this Docker file is extremely simple, but it doesn't matter that it doesn't mean that everything is going to go smooth. So what's the next step of process is we iterate, as I said. So we built a package, we think it could be good, we install it and see what's going on. So as before, while we wait for this, is there any question? All right. It should be done very quickly, as it is pretty lightweight package, I think. We have it here. And you see, in the package UI, it picked up the version of our package and the upstream version because Dappnodes understands upstream version argument in the compose. So we have it here. We can have it installed. It's again not signed. We can bypass save disclaimer, but what I'm going to show you is usually when I'm building a package, I usually click this Show Advanced Editor, and that Advanced Editor shows us what we've set in the compose over here, right? We have 4 environment variables. We have these set, and his volumes, and we do not want custom mount path. We want a default, and what we need to do is set the password. We can set it as DappCon. And then now it's in the plain text, but we can change that later. So accept, save, and it's being installed. So because I'm using my own Dappnode when I'm building the package, and package gets uploaded to IPFS node of my Dappnode, it gets downloaded very quickly because it's on the same machine. So Yes, so we have it installed. Let's see logs. All right, it says that it generated OSIS config. That seems fine. Let's try to go to the OSIS URL we specified here and see if it's going to work. Okay, so this connection is not private. That happens because we are using HTTPS here, and then we have to go around this. So this is limitation I found. Yeah, and then we have our own package. We can go admin, DappCon, and we're in. So we'll build like version 0 of our package. So this is only, right now this is only accessible for around Dappnode. It has this Dappnode private domain, and you can use it. It has this ugly warning that your connection is not secure. And as I said, that's OSIS thing, because it forces us to have HTTPS connection wherever. So in Dappnode, so when you are accessing your Dappnode, we build it that you are either on VPN, you are on a private Wi-Fi, or you are using Tailscale, which is also kind of VPN. So necessarily, it's not required to have a HTTPS connection for you to be safe. So because you are in a sandbox secure environment, and usually when we build packages, we do not use HTTPS. For example, I have Rotki here, and when I click on the UI here, you see Rotki here is not using HTTPS. It's not shown, but it's not using HTTPS. But if we try to do the same thing with OSIS, for example, if we change URL, we want it to be HTTP and update it. This will now change the environment variable and restart the package. Yes?
Sorry,
can you have my microphone, please?
Sorry, one thing I didn't follow, I may
Yeah.
have missed it early on. This .dappnode address, so you're on your laptop
Yes.
there, and you're talking to your Dappnode.
Yes.
How is that resolving? Like, how is that actually?
Yeah, because we are using, I'm using VPN here, which is connected to my Dappnode. And when you are using VPN, you can set up on your DNS server. And that DNS server is also a Dappnode package. You can see it here. And it's made to resolve, in this case, Docker aliases. And every package install has Docker aliases that ends with a Dappnode. Your main UI, we call it Dapp Manager, has my.dappnode domain, and that's how are those resolved.
Okay, got it.
Any other question? All right. So now we can see that our package is crashing. It can't start. And in logs. So yeah, could not create config. Config file already exists. All right, so that's a bug with our package. So what we did is we just, in our entry point, we just did OSIS init and OSIS server. But, so we have two solutions to this. We can use force overwrite flag, or we can do some if-else in here if we want to, if we want this to execute only once. For example, we can check for a file, and if that file exists, we don't do it, and if it doesn't exist, we do OSIS init and initialize the file. But in this case, I think it's better for us to use this force overwrite flag, because in other case, the init file, init will be run only once, and in case we change our admin password, this won't be run again. So I think it's better to do force override here, and then when we change in our config admin file, this init will be changed again. So yeah, let's do it like that, and we can rebuild our package. But there is, but because this this config file is baked into our volumes. What we can do is we can now remove the volumes, and that will fix our issue because we deleted our config file. But that's just temporary, so we can see what's going on. Now we have different error. So this is one I was aiming for before. So it says invalid ISS value URL must start with HTTPS. So OSIS is forcing us to do HTTPS, and that's why I did it here first time. So we can update this, delete volumes, and now we should be up and running again. So let's see logs, DappCon admin. I don't see any logs, but yeah, the same warning again. Visit the website, visit. Okay, we are good. So what we can do is we can install the fixed version of our package now that has force override flag set. But I want to show show a couple of more things. So we won't be installing this one. We will installing next iteration. So as you saw, when we did Docker init, it gave us a couple of those default files, and one of those is this Docker package file, which tells Dappnode whatever we have in info here. But we have a lot more possibilities here. What we can do is we can specify UI here. So UI here is HTTPS. What was it? This one. So we want users not to guess the URL where's stuff happening, and just to have a nice link here. Also, we can do description of a package. This shows up when we are installing. But to see full possibilities here, we can go to the Dappnode docs, and we have devs section, and the most useful to me is this file references section, because it says Docker Compose. We have that manifest. We have that as well. So there are a lot of possibilities here. These are pretty straightforward. What you can do, architecture that you want to be built, the requirements, dependencies, types, descriptions, upstreams, version, whatever. But I want to show you the setup wizard. When we were installing the package, so we typed in the environment variable that's called admin password, bit sketchy. It was in plain text, and that's something that you don't do. That's why we have this setup wizard. That's a that's YAML as well. That builds us our setup wizard, so package installation process is a bit more presentable. So we have example here that I'll copy, and I will create a setup wizard here, and I'll paste it, and we'll change it to our needs. So what we want to do with the setup wizard is have a nice field to set admin password in. So ID is not relevant that much. We will call it admin password, for example. So what's our target? Our target is environment, and in environment name, and name of the environment variable is admin password. So we go to setup wizard, we change that to the admin password and service. Service is this. So that refers to the Docker service, Docker Compose service that we are aiming to inject environment variable to. So we change that to service title, OSIS UI admin password. So description of that variable is, I don't know, whatever Copilot said. Yeah. Its secret is true. We do because secret that means that will be mask on the UI. This is pattern that we want it to match. We don't want it to match any pattern. It's not enum. It's just a string. So we just need these fields to be set. We want it to be required. We want to be secret, and we want it to be like this. So let's build the package again. So it has been built very quickly because we just added another file. We didn't change the old ones. So we can install it. So it's still not signed. We can bypass that. We can update it, and now we have this that we've just built. It says OSIS UI admin password, and the password, and this is what we wrote here, or what AI wrote for us, and that was DappCon. And we can submit that. We can accept that. And remember that we did two things here. We added setup wizard, and we fixed the bug about force overwriting the config. So now when we install, we expect this to be working. And also we added the UI link. All right, we have UI link. Let's see logs. Okay, logs are still a bit sketchy because they show password in plain text. What we can do is, for example, if we don't want to do that, if we want password to be a bit more secure, we can, for example, pipe this output to the dev null, and that will hide this output, for example. But since there are no logs, let's see if our UI is working. Yep. Oh, something's weird going on. Let's see what our logs say.
You put dev nil, not dev null.
Yeah, but this is, thank you. But this is just on my local machine. That's not on the package. But yeah, not like that. Yes. So yeah, there is some kind of a login issue. Yeah, let's try to do it like this. Okay, admin. Yep. Ah. DappCon. No, wait. Dapp. Okay, maybe we should have done this. It's admin DappCon. Yep, we are back in. All right, so we had issues with the HTTPS. That's pretty annoying, and also your own cloud backup service is not that useful if you can reach it from anywhere. And we have solution for that. So as a part of Dappnode core system, we have something called HTTPS. So that's the package that we maintain, and that's made for easily exposing your internal services to the wild, to the internet. And it's made that you do it with the HTTPS always. And how do you do that is you go to your OSIS instance, you go to the network. Oh, it's already done. So, because I've done it before, but let's remove it. And what you can do is you can create a HTTPS domain mapping. So you create a new mapping, and you choose a subdomain. So we want this to be, for example, OSIS. And which port do we want it to connect to? We saw that port is 9200. And these are optional fields that use HTTP basic authentication for you to be even more secure. But since OSIS has its own authentication, we don't need this. So we click Add Mapping. So, yeah, I don't know why we got the error, but OSIS mapping succeeded. And we have an error here. Client sent an HTTP request to an HTTPS server. So we have to fix this, and I'll fix it quickly because we are running out of time. First, what we need to do is change the domain name in the OSIS to match our domain that we are mapping to. That's a limitation of the OSIS itself. So now when we build the setup wizard, we have, for config, we have this nice UI, but we need the advanced editor for this because we didn't specify the rest of the environment variables. So we update here, and in the compose file, we need to change our default OSIS servers not to be run on HTTPS, but on HTTP. So we need to add here another environment variable that's called SSL insecure. Oh, sorry, SSL insecure equals false. Sorry, SSL in. This is false, and proxy TLS equals false. So, and when we build a package like this, it should work with our external domain. So this disables the TLS or OSIS server, but there is a hard requirement for access to OSIS to be on HTTPS. So what I said before is still true. We need HTTPS, but to access it. But SSL termination can be either on OSIS server or somewhere upstream. But what it wants is SSL for some reason. So yeah, this is the basic guide how to build a working package. There is a couple more things I wanted to talk about. So for example, when we are using this SDK, we have tooling that help it maintain. For example, there is automatic tool that does bumps on your GitHub actions that you don't have to follow these upstreams always. It automatically automatically opens you a PR and stuff like that. But this is the basic stuff. What you need to do when you are building the package. Okay, let's install it one last time. Let's click up advanced options. Let's update it. Accept, and here we go. So let's for last minute let's talk. Okay, when we build the package, what do? How do we publish it? We use our SDK. We call the publish command. And for some reason we always have to say what we are bumping to. So we have either bump it to major, minor, or patch version. But when the package new, that's not important. We can do major, and now this is doing a similar thing, but it will give us a link how to publish our package. Now we have it here installed. I'll delete the volume so we are fresh. So there is no leftovers from before, and we would expect now this to work on our servers, but it doesn't. Yeah, proxy. For some reason this has not been set properly. For proxy TLS false, this should be true. Update it. Yeah. Let's see the logs. Update it. Yeah, here we are. And what's good about this is publicly accessible now. I can disconnect from my WireGuard, and it's still working. So you have like your own cloud in the, not cloud, but at home. And yeah, so with the, and yeah, last thing that's left is to show you how the publishing works. Is that you connect to your VPN, you do the release, and then this gives you everything you need to know when you're going to publish. Gives you a link that you can publish it. It gives you prompt to connect your MetaMask, to sign the release, and if your signature is trusted, it will show up on the UI sign. So I don't have a wallet in Safari, but that's pretty much it. Excuse me? I can repeat the question. Thank you.
So how else can publishers sign releases?
So I can show you quickly. Let's go here in Chrome. Do I here? So you connect your wallet. We won't use Rappi. We want your origin. So we will use some testnet wallet. We can connect. I don't know why it's asking me for Rappi. I don't want to use Rappi. But yeah, it's just like ordinary signing process. You sign the message, this is my package, this is my wallet, and you sign it, and that signature gets added to IPFS package, and that all gets published on the ARM repo manager that holds the version and IPFS cache, and when you see it in your Dappnode, it shows up as signed.
Do you have a support channel?
Yes.
Where?
In Discord.
Thank you.
Any other question?